Maybe you've published multiple journals, planners, trackers, and puzzle books on Amazon, but there's one avenue you haven't touched yet. My guess is the title of this video grabbed your attention because, like me, you have zero drawing skills, but you're interested in creating pattern coloring books on Rapid. In this video, I'm going to share with you the simple process I use to create hundreds of unique coloring patterns. The best part is you can do this from your smartphone or tablet. Hi, I'm Samantha, the Get It Done girl. I explore tech and tools to help you streamline your business, make more money, and become more productive. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been with me from the outset, thank you for your continued support. To my new watchers, please subscribe to help me grow this platform. The process I'm about to share with you is something I picked up when I created my first print-on-demand shop. I was always mesmerized by patterns and thought that adding them to shirts, socks, ties, bedspreads, and even cups would be a cool idea to get started, so I went searching. During my search, I found an app that turned the pictures I took into patterns, and this led from one thing to another as I later discovered that the patterns the tool generated could be converted into black and white shapes. I find this tool exciting to use, and often when I want to de-stress or pass time, I'd sit and create patterns right from my iPad. I had to make several attempts to perfect the process, but I'm pretty comfortable with what I've been able to achieve with the app. Now, what is this mystery tool I am talking about? Adobe Capture is a free tool that allows you to work with photos to create patterns, types, brushes, shapes, and much more. It can be downloaded and installed on your Android or iOS devices. To download Adobe Capture, go to your App Store and enter the name and install. You will need to create an account to use it, but you can skip this process if you already have an Adobe account. Once the app is installed, you're ready to get the ball rolling. As I will be demonstrating how you can create these patterns from my iPad, the video might seem a bit fast-paced. However, I will be creating 2 patterns so that you have a better grasp of using the tool. Hence, you can always go back to the video and slow it down whenever you need a refresher. I've already downloaded the vector-based image I will be using. No, any image will do, but I find that vector images give a more refined output. I will be using a 2-step process to create my coloring book patterns. First, I'm going to convert this image into a pattern, and then from a pattern into a shape. Since I have this photo stored on my iPad, I'm going to now share it with Adobe Capture. This process will be different for you depending on the device and where the image is stored. However, it is a simple process nonetheless. Now, once the image is posted to Adobe Capture, it will immediately create a shape of the image or a pattern. Now, in this case, it has created a pattern for me, but in some instances, the first option you will be met with is a shape. Now, this is what a shape looks like. So just in case this is what you see once you send the image to Adobe Capture, you can simply scroll down on the right and locate the pattern option. Now, on the right, we have the features of the app listed. So this here, it pretty much changes the color scale of the image. This is not what we want, so I'm going to go back to color. Now, the second option, it allows you to change this image. Although it's already a vector, it allows you to change this image to an SVG pattern, and this is useful. Eventually, since I will be creating a series of video, you will realize that working with SVG is a better option than working with a bitmap PNG format. Now, if I leave this as is, it is going to give me a bitmap image, but if I use this option and choose the bottom one, it is going to give me a vector SVG, which is always the better option. Now, the third option is where things get interesting, and this is the option you're going to be working with a lot because it pretty much controls the look of your pattern. Now, the first option is really a hexagon with 6 grids. The second is a square with many grids. The third is a diamond with grids. The fourth is also a hexagon but with more than 6 grids. And the sixth option is a square with several grids. Now, you have all of these different layouts at your disposal. I am encouraging you to get familiar with this because these patterns will ultimately decide how these layouts will ultimately decide how your patterns look. So what I'm going to do is, since I've mentioned before that I will be creating 2 looks, I'm going to first start off with the diamond. So this is what the diamond layout looks like. So what I'm going to do is to proceed to the next step by clicking the circle with the tick in the middle. So on the right, I can move this triangle around, and as you can see, the pattern changes again, which means that, you know, once you start to fool around with the features, you'll realize that a single image could give you more than 10 images easily. And if you keep adding more images, you could easily in a day create 100 or more coloring patterns to publish. So what I'm going to do is I am going to fool around with the triangle, and I'm going to find a pattern that I like. Now, another thing with this triangle is that you can also zoom in on specific areas, and you can also zoom out if you so desire. Now, this was the original pattern or layout that was there. I'm just going to go ahead and I am going to save this image because I think I'm just going to work with this one to begin with. So this might take a while because I have so many different patterns and shapes stored in my account. So what I'm doing now is to locate the pattern. Now, as you can see, this says pattern 142, and just below it says vector SVG. If you had not selected the option I shared with you before, you would simply be given a bitmap PNG. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this pattern since I want to move to the next step. So at the bottom of my screen, I'm going to select the reuse icon and I'm going to click new shape. So immediately the colors are stripped from the pattern, leaving only an outline. As is, this shape is messy, so let's clean it up to get our final product. So what I'm going to do is to select the contrast icon on the left and then the intersecting circles at the bottom. This reveals another menu on my right, so I'm going to scroll to the very bottom and choose the edge option. Now, as you can see, my shape is starting to look like something customers can color into. So I'm going to fiddle around with the edge feature by going back and forth with the line at the bottom to see how my image looks. So this is me pulling the line forward. And if I should go backward, the lines would look a lot paler or duller in appearance. So I'm going to move forward with this. And I think I like this as is. Now, on the left, there is a wand icon. Now, what this does is to further refine the shape. Now, in some cases, depending on the image, the wand feature may or may not make a lot of difference or any difference at all. If it doesn't add to the image or make the image look better, you can simply disable it. This is the image with the wand. This is the image with the wand, and this is the image without the wand. I'm going to leave it without the wand, and I'm going to proceed to the next stage by clicking the circle with the tick. So this is what my image looks like, and I promise guys, this will look a lot better when you plug it into a software to really bring your pages together to put together your coloring book. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save. As I mentioned, this might take a while because I have a lot of things or assets stored on my Adobe Capture account. So I'm going to save it. Now, as you can see, I now have a shape. This is shape 100, and as you can see below, it is an SVG, which means that the quality is going to be very good. And when it's an SVG, we can also remove different components of our patterns, and we can also add. So this is very nifty that they've really converted the shape into SVG format. So I'm just going to click this to show you what it looks like. So this is my coloring pattern, and this is absolutely beautiful. I love this. I would definitely use this to color. So I know for a fact that people will enjoy it just the same. Now, as I've mentioned before, I will be creating 2 images. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to locate my image once more, and I'm going to go through the same process. The difference is I'm going to be using another layout. In the demonstration I just showed, I used the diamond layout, but this time around I might use the square. So I'm going to go ahead and just repeat the process. You can follow along. Okay, so this is my pattern. I'm going to go back to the option, use the square, and I'm going to click the circle. I'm going to fool around with this to ensure that I get something that I like. I think I like this, so I'm going to save this, and it's going to move me to the next step. Pattern 143, and as you realize, I did not convert the pattern into a vector SVG, so it's going to give me a bitmap, and I'll show you. Just below pattern 143, it says bitmap PNG. So this is what happens when you do not convert it to a vector SV or choose the option from the pattern stage. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click this, and I'm going to start working on it by reusing new shape. I'm going to click the contrast, intersecting circles at the bottom, scroll all the way down, and select edge. And I'm going to drag this line forward. And as you can see, everything is coming together. I'm going to click the one to see if it makes a difference. It doesn't, so I'm going to deselect. And I am going to just drag this a bit to see what happens if I should push it down further. I think I'm going to pull it forward. So I'm going to leave this as is. So I'm going to click the circle with the tick again. And this is what my pattern looks like, guys. I'm going to save this. And I'm going to save it to my device. So as you can see, this is also an SVG. So regardless if the pattern is bitmap or SVG, the shape is automatically converted to an SVG. So I'm going to click my shape and zoom in so you can see. So as you can see, this is another pattern, another coloring book pattern. So what I'm going to do is to go back to the previous shape so you can, look at it to compare. So this is what this looks like, and I'm going to go back to the former one. So as you can see, there are some similarities, but the layout, the shape is different. Go back again and look at it. Magnificent. So this is it, guys, for this video. If you've learned anything, please subscribe to my channel. It will greatly help me grow this platform. Also, please follow up with my channel because I will be creating a series. In the next video, I'm going to share with you how you can put this together in Affinity Publisher. I'm also going to share with you how you can put this together in Microsoft Word and Microsoft PowerPoint, if those are the tools you use. And if you're a Canva user as well, I might just create something for you. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.